catching the ball and not moving our feet,
Right.
But there are some kids that I think you have to really watch and call because they're taking advantage of it.
Oh, 100%.
They're tucking the ball and taking a couple steps before they shoot, and it helps them get around the defender.
Whoa. Good morning and welcome to the Hodgeback Sports Life and everything in between right here on 106.9, the Country Giant. We're glad that you're with us. We're brought to you by Lida Land and Cattle. We are in our Potosi Life studio here in the Mall of Abilene. We're glad that you're here. Hodge, Misty, and Josh reminiscing over some exciting junior high basketball.
Very. Hodge, can I sing you happy birthday?
Yes, we are going to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that anyone really wants to hear that, but happy birthday to Hodge.
Happy birthday to Hodge.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
We're going all
Hooray
the way.
for Hodge. Hooray at last. Hooray for Hodge. He's a horse.
Oh.
He's a horse that's 48. Thank you.
For real, happy birthday.
Appreciate it. Hitting the 48 today. I'm not sure John Conley had the backside of 30 sung, but backside of 40.
It's close enough to the front side of 50.
Yeah.
But really just a couple years older, I could be an NFL quarterback, according to Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Just lack a few things. Lots of things.
Height. A
lot of things in between.
Skills.
A lot of things in between.
Intelligent. I mean, there's a long list.
No. Well, I've learned based on Phillip Rivers, you don't have to have a lot of speed.
You don't have to have speed. Right?
No, I would need a steel curtain type of offensive line to stay protected. And maybe this chair
would
to
they
throw.
let you wear the little red penny vest so you couldn't get sacked?
Maybe on my birthday, just today.
Yeah.
Just today.
They'll put flags on him.
Yeah. I would still get hurt. There's no doubt I'd still get hurt. Hey, but we are glad that you're with us. It is my birthday, and I would think, I don't think in the 7 years, I don't know, I guess we could go back, that the show has fallen on my birthday, so that's kind of cool. Yours has.
It would have to in 7 years.
Yeah.
At least once.
Well, unless it leap yeared over. No, because mine's in January. January doesn't have until February. Yep.
January doesn't happen until what?
You know what I mean.
January doesn't happen until February.
It's got to be your goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're exactly right.
It is fun though when it on your
because that's
real
done that
birthday.
with you too.
Yes.
Did your 40th land on that? Yes, because we had all the.
I didn't know she was 40.
Yeah. In another life, I'm actually 30.
Sorry. Yeah. If you could turn back time.
40 is the new 30.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I think that's what I believe.
I think whatever you turn, you call it the new X. Like
Absolutely.
whatever it is. 95 is the new 26.
But I don't feel old.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if this has happened to y'all, and I'm obviously not going to call anyone out specifically, but have y'all in recent times seen somebody that like you went to college with or went to high school with that you haven't seen in a long time, and your first thought is, do I look that old?
Oh, 100%.
Yes. Well, I don't know how to word this. I'm going to ask y'all off air if we think I can say this on air.
Just do it. It's your birthday. Go nuts.
Well, I don't want to get canceled on my birthday. But anyway, so yeah, hit 48 today, which is good. And so,
hey, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Let's hope
Maybe
it
you can
goes
tee
better.
up some people.
Yeah.
That'd be a good birthday.
Here you go. 48 of you. Boom, you're gone.
Tonight,
I don't have any
Cheeto
candles.
Lodge.
Don't even have any candles to blow out, but you're
Don't
gone.
be taking any crap tonight. You tee those
No,
kids
I
up.
did that last night, and the kid was way too fortunate.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a lot going on in the sports
There
world.
is a lot.
Oh gosh, I think if there's a boxing news, it would add to it because we have a ton. And so we're going to dive into our Lawrence Hall headline report. We're going to start with golf, go to baseball, and then we'll see what we have left. For the record, you're looking at the rundown because we've had so much happen literally overnight. Coaching stuff's going to go to this next segment. Number one, golf is back. Sony Open kicking off this week in Hawaii. Nick Taylor, the leader at 8 under. Big news for me personally because friend of the show, all the things. Paul DeSory back on the bag with Webb Simpson. They shot even yesterday, but they're back together. But golf is up and rolling. The other news in the golf world this past week was they were letting live guys back. Brooks Koepka has been reinstated. Some other folks have been reinstated on the PGA Tour. They have some stipulations. Those that have won majors, others have had, they're getting people back, but they're not able to compete for the FedEx Cup. They're not able to, they're having to pay back into the PGA Tour, and they're also not able to receive some of the maybe the dividends that comes
Collective bargaining.
that comes from the PGA Tour. And so you're going to start seeing Brooks Koepka is going to play in a few weeks at the Phoenix Open. And so you're going to, I've got a saying that they always say grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I say grass may be greener on the other side, but sometimes it may be harder to mow. And Josh gets this as a yard guy. And I think that's what we saw. I mean, they got their money. I mean, it's kind of like right now, go make your money. If you got a rental house right now, go make that money. Yeah. And of course, call Tammy at Coleman County State Bank to get that house. But it wasn't what they thought. They got their money and now they're coming back. And so we'll see if more people start to come back. Some of the stipulations were if you won a major within the last so many years, you could come back. But I saw where Pat Perez is going to come back, and that dude hadn't won anything. And so anyway, golf world is having in there. Josh, I'm going to turn it over to you. The LA Dodgers are, when the rich gets richer and the rich gets richer, it's continuing to happen in LA. You may say buying a championship. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it sure sounds like it. We have another person heading to LA. Yes,
it's pretty announced last night, one of those breaking news things that came up that Kyle Tucker, who was, as y'all probably remember, an Astro for 8 years, a 4-time All-Star, a Gold Glove, a legit good player, probably the premier hitter, free agent this offseason, just signed a record-breaking deal with the Dodgers. He signed a 4-year, $240 million contract. If you do the math, that's $60 million a year. What makes it record-breaking, it was like Ohtani, they signed him for $70 million a year. That was the highest, annual average value contract ever. But Ohtani's contract was deferred. So the contract that Kyle Tucker signed does have some deferrals, $30 million, but the math, however that works out, makes the cost to the Dodgers per season at $57.5 million, which blows out the previous high of which was Juan Soto by $6 million. So he's making it rain. But as you mentioned, it's like the rich get richer. All of the teams that were in on Tucker were the Blue Jays. Who the Blue Jays seem to, I don't know if it's because they're in Canada. I don't know, but it seems that they're always in on every big free agent and they don't ever sign with them. But Blue Jays, Yankees, Mets were the teams that everyone was talking were going to go after Tucker. I heard no rumor, read nothing, saw nothing posted on X that the Dodgers were even part of that sweepstakes, if you will. And then that's where he signed. So, are you a fan of Misty? Are you a fan of that? Of people just, if you've got the money, go buy it.
I feel like it would be.
I mean, I know that's what you do with shopping, but if you got the money, you go buy it. Should be the same way in sport.
I mean, I feel like if I say no, I'm a hypocrite because that's exactly what Texas Tech did, and I was all for it because we got it was a fun season. So I don't know. I mean, I think if it was across the board, you couldn't do that. Like if it was a little bit more level playing field in terms of the dollars, maybe I'd be against it. But again, right now sitting here, I feel like I would be a super big hypocrite if I said that shouldn't be allowed. So I guess I'll just stand on that for now.
Well, the thing is like if it's within the rules, it's within the rules. I mean, you're doing your thing. So the argument would be, do we need to change the rules?
And maybe level it out.
But there are those that argue that this is a good thing because it shows that the Dodgers are kind of like, money be danged, we're going to put the best team that we can possibly put on the field, not worrying about, the bottom line and everything. That it seems like a lot of owners, we were talking about billionaires, like.
But aren't they all billionaires?
No, that's what I'm saying. They're all billionaires. I mean, there may be some that, stripping a little bit more than others, but, I guess the point that I heard on the radio as I was driving in on the MLB network, they were talking is like, you can look at this as it's ruining the sport because everyone, like the Dodgers made a super team, or you could look at this an example that like, and we're Rangers fans, we can talk about them. The Rangers owners have billions of dollars, but yet the theme this offseason is we're going to cut back on salary. We're not going to hit the luxury threshold again. All of that. But it's like they may lose money over the season on a team. I don't know. I have no idea. It seems that the amount of money that goes through, just you go to one Rangers game and see all those people and all the $5 hot dogs and $12 beers. It's hard to think that they don't rake in a lot of money. But if they're not willing to take a loss, quote unquote, to put out a better team, maybe they should. And maybe
right.
And the Dodgers don't seem to care.
Well, and talked about this before, and because I know you're not really a big super team fan. It's great though when it's your team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, nobody cares when it's your team.
Dodger fans are excited.
Right, but we are ticked.
Right.
But again, so I guess I don't really have that big of a problem with it, but I want our teams to be doing
right.
it.
Figure out a way to do it.
Yes, figure out a way to do it.
All right. Well, one of the things that happened, and I'm going to play the clip yesterday that was some breaking news in college sports. Why is that such a big deal? Why is that such a big deal? Is because there's a list of teams and a list of players that are being accused, indicted on point shaving, on fixing games, on changing the integrity of ball games, outcomes, and everything in between. And Chinese basketball is where it started, and it creeped into college basketball as well. Not knowing all the details, just what has been reported. That's off ESPN.com. That's the video that you heard was ESPN.com. But a college point shaving scheme involving more than 39 players on 17 NCAA Division I teams resulted in dozens of games in the previous 2 seasons being fixed by a gambling ring that included a former NBA player, according to a federal indictment unsealed Thursday in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. There's a list of those schools on ESPN.com. You can check those out. Not any Power 5 that I see, but mostly just smaller 1A school, not 1A schools.
That's what it seems like, though.
Division I basketball programs that are going to get in trouble. Schools may not be getting in trouble, but the players will be most likely the ones that get in trouble here.
Yeah, and just you do not want your school on that list, and getting that publicity.
Yeah.
And obviously, some schools that are near and dear to our hearts, unfortunately, made that list.
And players that said, when the article that I read that was referencing the indictment, were paid between $10,000 and $30,000 per game to participate. So we've talked about it a lot with the gambling being a major issue. Obviously, last week I in jest talked about my tinfoil hat, but the tinfoil hat is becoming it's not conspiracy theory, it's real life. Because if you think about this, if a basketball game between Tarleton State and ACU is worth someone bribing you $10,000 to $30,000 is a football game between Miami and Ole Miss on the semifinal game worth.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just
huge.
Well, I mean, it's like anything else. Everything,
real,
the bigger the step, the next step that you go up makes it bigger, makes it worth more, makes it all the things. So anyway, though I'm sure there'll be a lot more coming out of this story later on, but just wanted to at least throw it out there because it is a part of a headline. It is second. If you go to ESPN.com, Kyle Tucker, gambling scheme. Those are the list of the things on ESPN.com right now.
It's the hypocrisy of it though bothers me. We talked about this last week. And ESPN is kind of moving back from it. I've noticed through their television shows and what they have on their app as far as like the scores and stuff. The lines are much less prominent. They're not like used to. That was like you pull up what games are this weekend.
Well,
and
but
it's like the line is right there.
And I know we got to go to break and all those things, but I know, but there's not a network. I mean, you mentioned ESPN, but you watch these others, and at the end of a lot of these pregame NFL shows, they're telling you the parlay that they would go with.
Oh, I know.
So many yards for this guy, this, and then whether and they're going through. I mean, they're all sponsored either by DraftKings or FanDuel or Prize Picks and now you got these predictable sites that aren't gambling sites that you can participate in. And so it's not going anywhere, but we're going to go to break because I want to be sensitive of the time. We're going to go to break, get our sponsors. Thank you, Abilene, LawrenceAbilene.com is where you can go and look and shop and get that new car, truck, or SUV. The folks at Lawrence, such great partners in this community, giving back in so many ways. Go check them out. When we come back, how do you find this stuff out? We'll be back.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience
Okay,
yet?
not
You're missing one of the best atmospheres around with amazing food, great drinks.
But how tempting is it for someone at one of these smaller, not a no-name school, but smaller school that's not getting a lot of publicity to come up and be like, hey, I got 30 grand, blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, again, I'm not condoning it, but like you're talking
My
to
question to y'all is,
a kid with no money probably that isn't getting, he's not rolling in the NIL dough at these smaller colleges.
ironically, most of that started probably really after.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, we would have to go back and look, but if they're talking about the last 2 years, then NIL is here. So I guess it would just be interesting to go back, but I just have to think, how tempting would that be for someone that probably is just, I don't know, making it by, managing.
My question to you as two bankers, I'm sure.
That'd be very tempting for a college kid that is broke.
Is the only time, how do you, I guess, catch them? How do you catch them?
It's getting easier to catch them because they have algorithms that show discrepancies. And so if there's a big spike, say in that Tarleton ACU game, whatever the gambling is, and there's a sudden on one way or the other with bigger money, they can catch that. And then they go back and they look at and that's how they caught that the pitcher, Emmanuel Clase for the Indians. because he was throwing prop bets, to throw a ball on his first pitch,
Yeah.
And
Well, the
they
money's
would
gotta
see,
go somewhere,
yeah.
so the bank side is
they
gonna
would see
flag
the
it.
spike on a bet on that particular thing, then watch the video, and he yanks one way over here on that first pitch, and then they start looking at the I guess what's the word I'm looking for? The consistency of it, like there's a spike, he throws a bad pitch. There's a spike, he throws a bad pitch. There's a spike, he throws a bad pitch. And they start investigating, like,
But banks, to your question, on the bank side, there are softwares that will kind of trigger the do you know what kiting is? Have you ever heard that term? Like, it's basically robbing Peter to pay Paul, but through financial institutions. So maybe I'm gonna float this check and pull it from this bank, but it's not over there either. And it's just you have to actually it's crazy how, right, but now there's softwares that will kind of flag
it takes a couple days for a check to clear.
Yeah.
And for funds to be determined whether they're there or not. So
you can pull the cash out and just kind of move it around in between different
you don't even
banks.
have to have cash, you just write a
Yeah,
check.
or
And
checks,
I
yeah.
have an account at Coleman County, and I've got an account at First Bank, Texas. So I go to Coleman County, write myself a check for my First Bank, Texas for 20 grand.
Yep.
I cover these checks that are coming in over there, so it shows that I have a positive. And then the very next day, I go and write a check from my Coleman County bank to First Bank, Texas.
Yep.
And I throw that check there, and so there's no money, but it keeps
Yeah, it's fake money, but eventually
it keeps
it'll
looking
flag.
like there's money in your account.
Yeah.
A lot of times people do that because they think man, I got this big payday coming, I'm selling,
I'll float it
I'm
until-
selling this,
Mhm.
and
Welcome back to the Hodge Track Sports Life and everything in between right here on January 16th, the birthday of Hodge. We're glad that you're here. Lots going on. We're going to have our Big Country Electric My Town segment in the second hour. Josh Hardcastle from Big Country FCA is going to be here. They had their big all-star teams announcements as they get ready for preparing for another all-star week that started with a football game and now has grown to way much more than that. So Josh will join us in the second hour to talk about that process and maybe how you can help and support some athletes as they get ready for their all-star campaigns. Part of our Lawrence Headline Report, again, golf is back. Live guys are coming back. Kyle Tucker heading to LA on a big payday. He's not going to need to bet on anything anytime soon at $60 million a year. We talk about it, and I asked this, why is it a carousel? There's a coaching carousel happening in the NFL. Why is it a carousel?
I don't know. I have actually never thought about this, but I guess is it because it just starts with a C? They didn't call it a merry-go-round.
Well,
anything. What else is?
You start the carousel and you get on. The carousel's moving around. And I guess maybe that's the thing. And you jump on a horse on a carousel and you wait till you are able. Because ironically, you're on the coaching carousel, but you want to get off that ride because you get a job.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that has taken place. The coaching carousel added another Super Bowl champion this past week, stepping down after 19 seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Never had a losing record. Won a Super Bowl. Went to another, and now is on the market, or I guess on the carousel, if you will. Some think he's going to sit out a year. And I'm going to throw this out. If he sits out a year, if you're shoddy, are you nervous?
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to say no. I feel like he's done better than maybe a lot of us thought. And so, I don't know. And he's at the Cowboys. I will say Jerry made smaller moves. To me, that would be such a big move, and that's just not normally how the Dallas Cowboys roll. So I don't know. I don't know that he should be nervous because I just don't think the Cowboys have it in them.
Right.
But please prove me wrong.
Well, I mean, I hope, no, I hope the
Shoddy.
great year in Shoddy continue to get better and
I think he's
improve.
done good.
That's what I like to see. But my first thought was when Tomlin became available, every coach that even has a job
Got a little nervous.
got a little nervous because right, wrong, and different. He's a culture guy. He's a stable guy. Now, has he kind of weaned off and not done anything? 7 straight seasons without a playoff win. Probably one of the reasons why. And maybe it says, and Art Rooney, whatever the number was behind him, said we had planned on running it back next year with Mike Tomlin. He stepped down and said, I'm ready to walk away. And maybe he just needed a break. And maybe Sean Payton sits out a year, looks at it, because even Mike Tomlin, you don't want to go somewhere where the Jimmy and Joes aren't that good.
Right.
Because it's Jimmy and Joes that win. You can be great at X's and O's, but you better have some really good Jimmy and Joes. And so he's gone. Jim Harbaugh is gone. Now, there are talks that Harbaugh is going to be the new coach of the New York Giants. Going back, does Jim Harbaugh coming into the NFC East, having a possibly good franchise quarterback like Sean Payton did in Denver, getting Bo Nix, adds a little more skin in the game for the Dallas Cowboys to be sure, Misty, that they continue to get better because you just added a Super Bowl until it's official. You added a Super Bowl winning head coach to the division.
That obviously would be concerning as a Cowboys fan that he would be able to help the Giants turn around, because you have had a kind of revolving door there of coaches and systems and quarterbacks of the future recently. Anybody that can stabilize a team in the division that's not good.
Right.
But I don't tend to really try to worry about that. It's more because as a fan, I don't want to sit and think, oh, well, that team's getting better, so we're not going to be able to beat them. I want our team to get better, and because it doesn't matter if the best team in your division is the best team in the NFL. Like if you have Super Bowl aspirations, you got to beat all of the teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so I was looking at this, and I had the privilege of, while I was driving, counting in my head. How many do you think winning head coaches, how many Super Bowl winning active head coaches do you think are in the NFL?
Right now?
That have won Super Bowls in the NFL.
Ooh.
I'll give you the number 4, over or under.
Over.
The answer is under.
Really?
New England, no. Buffalo, no. Miami, no. Jets, no. Steelers now no, because he's not active anymore.
Yeah.
And until it's signed, Baltimore, no, because Harbaugh, until it's official. Bengals, no. Browns, no. Jacksonville, no. Did you hear the question, Josh?
Yeah, and I knew the number was very low.
Texans, no. Titans, no. Broncos, yes. Chiefs, yes. McVay and the Rams, yes. There are only 3 active head football coaches in the NFL currently are Super Bowl winners.
Lost their job this last
2
weeks.
Well, Tomlin and Harbaugh
And Pete Carroll.
So there was your over.
So, yeah.
Your over would have been good.
Last week or a couple days ago.
Your overall would have been good if they were still
Dang it.
the overall would have been good if they were still employed.
Right.
But it just tells you, going back to, it's the same thing. There's 32 teams and there's 32 head coaches and there's 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. And if you have one of those that are the 3 or one of those that are the few elite, better make sure you surround them with the right people if you're going to want to win a Super Bowl.
I mean, you're absolutely right. But because the way that it has happened recently, obviously Belichick has moved on, but it's Belichick and gosh, the Kool-Aid man. Why did his name leave?
Andy Reid.
Andy have hoarded some of those Super Bowls recently, so that has limited that pool a little bit. But it's but the thing is, and we've talked about this a lot in all major sports, winning that Super Bowl, winning that World Series, or the national championship in college, whatever the case may be, it's really, really hard.
Right, and the fact that and then when you do it more than once, it's even harder because you look at the people like everybody always goes to the Ravens when Trent Dilfer was the quarterback. Brian Billick winning a Super Bowl, all those things are big. So you've got these jobs that are open now. The Titans' job is open. We feel like the Giants' job is closed. Falcons, Browns, Dolphins, Ravens, Steelers, and Cardinals. Not a lot of great jobs left. Titans, you got a starting quarterback, Cam Ward. Maybe the Falcons are good. In our lifetimes and just the one right before it, the Steelers have had 3 coaches: Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin.
Yes, for the past, I think it was 56 years. That's top of my head, but 56 years, 3 coaches.
Right, and for the longest time until 1988, the Dallas Cowboys had how many? Had one in Tom Landry. My question is this: are the Steelers about to continue the run and are the next Mike Tomlin, Bill Cowher, to be the coach for the next 15, 20 years? Or are they about to start the Dallas Cowboys? Because they don't have a franchise quarterback. Their franchise quarterback is 6 years younger than me. Their other guy is Mason Rudolph, or could it be Will Howard, who led the Ohio State Buckeyes to the national championship last year? Are the Steelers going to be the next, here we go, here's the next guy, we're not having to worry about it for 15, 20 years? Or do they start the revolving door? I'm just curious to see what that patience is going to look like when they hire the next guy.
I'm sure I believe there will be some patience because their ownership does not tend to be really reactionary, just like because they've had the same coaches forever. Their ownership is seems like a stable group.
Still been having and winning seasons.
And
right.
I mean, that's the other thing.
But hang on, they've been doing that. But is it because what Tomlin's done? Because they've not had a quarterback since Big Ben, but they finally to either not have a losing season, which he did, but they've ended up losing the last 7 years. They haven't done anything since Ben's left as far as making sure, and let's face it, and we're going to see it this Monday night, Carson Beck and Fernando Mendoza have made a difference for those 2 franchises in college. You've got to go, and I think even more so in today's time. Last year's Super Bowl champion, Jalen Hurts, he's the guy. Patrick Mahomes, he's the guy. You've got to have a guy. You got to have a dog, as they say, at that quarterback position. And now that you've lost that leader, if Mike Tomlin, will the Steelers be able to, so they can be ready and not use Carr, if you will, which you can go get at Lawrence Hall, AvalonOnline.com, because they've done that. Russell Wilson, let's throw him out. Fields, let's throw him out there. And now let's do it with Aaron Rodgers. There's not a whole lot of those left. You don't go get Kirk Cousins. Is that really the guy that you want to start your new coach with? So I just think it's going to be interesting on what they end up doing there with that coaching position. Because
I think you answered your own question almost. It's like, was it Tomlin? Obviously it was, because you're right. Who has he really had? Right. He has made it work with the people that he has had in there. And so I agree, it is going to be interesting, but I'm kind of like with Josh. I do think as far as right now, the franchise has been patient, but Tomlin has still had winning seasons, even though.
And again, I know this motion, those that are watching on Facebook Live are getting the 6-7 motion. The problem of it is winning seasons has happened. 0 losing seasons. But the playoff success has done this number to make it, okay, that's great, but we're not a franchise that just so.
Although they've been tolerating it for years.
They've almost cowboyed it.
So that's what I'm saying. To me, yes, they have acted like that, but they have had winning seasons, but they keep losing in the first round of playoffs. Obviously, they've let this roll on for many years. Do they really care about that?
But I think the biggest upside for Mike Tomlin is he won his Super Bowl in year 2.
Yeah.
When you win your Super Bowl in year 2, your longevity, your leash, apparently for 17 years because you lifted the Lombardi. So the Steelers' job to me now, again, it bumps everybody down in which is the best job available. And then it also now closes one of the windows for maybe where me as an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator or the next guy that wants that coaching job not able to get. So anyway, Steelers' job is open. Mike Tomlin's out. We'll see if the Harbaugh Giants thing becomes official. But as far as we know, Harbaugh's heading to New York. When we come back, more Hodgepacks, Sports Life, and everything in between.
They did draft Kenny Pickett in the first round, and that was a plus.
Right.
But they haven't.
And honestly,
But that's the only first-round quarterback they have drafted since Ben Roethlisberger.
And honestly, it reminds me. Of when John Elway took over for the Broncos. They did not ever draft a good quarterback while he was running that show.
Yeah.
And it's probably because he didn't want anybody to replace him.
I mean, I know he got him a Super Bowl, but 17 years? I don't know. That leash just seems really long. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that is a rarity. Like, big time. Like, most franchises wouldn't have done that.
Well, and I think in today's time.
And yeah, a lot has changed in the game, but 17 years, I don't know. Like, that's crazy.
I think in today's time, the patience less because you've seen people have success quickly, especially in the college world. If I can go buy my team,
right.
Your patience now has gone down because we've seen Dan Quinn, even though they didn't do good this year 1.
Oh, yeah.
With the right quarterback, we go to the NFC Championship game. Now, if that right quarterback gets hurt in year 2, you're sitting home.
That's the thing. It's just you got to strike while the iron is hot, and you've got healthy players because you're just one play away from taking them out of the season.
Well, and I think that's why it's so important. Make sure you have a quality backup. Because when that
let's have a super team.
because when that injury happens, now if it's a devastating year ending like an ACL or when Dak broke every bone in his foot,
yeah.
But you got to, because a lot of times you have the injury where somebody's going to be gone. For example, the 49ers did that with Mac Jones. Is he great? I don't know. Is he going to be next year's Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold? Maybe. But Mac Jones went in, did just fine until Brock Purdy got back, and now they're a game away for another NFC Championship game. I know. All right, do y'all want to go college football? I really want to know, what do you think are the top 5 organizations?
In all sports?
What do you think would be more interesting in time-wise?
Well, I mean, we can talk about Indiana, Miami, but I don't know that there's a segment where
Miami?
Yeah. I mean, there could be, but it's not. Like, I don't think we.
All right, so we're going to come back and do the 5, and then we'll roll into the national championship game. Good with that?
Just pro?
No, like, because with the Steelers becoming open, it got me thinking, what are the top 5 organizations? Like, that you, when you think of
Like prestigious wise?
prestigious wise, ran right, people grow up dreaming to be a part of, what are those? All right, let me have my own little form of Hodge bucket bag.
We talked about this before.
Probably. We've been doing this for several years.
Celtics, Yankees, like we've covered the whole realm.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, sports life and everything in between, right here on 106.9 The Country Giant. We were just talking about football jobs and the Steelers, Mike Tomlin stepping down. Real quick, we got a national championship Monday night, Indiana, Miami. We'll get to that in a moment. My question for you, this job opened up. When you think of the Steelers, 3 coaches in the last, Josh said 56 years, number of Super Bowls, the standard is the standard. Every league in pro sports has those franchises. The cream of the crop, the elite, the Augusta National of golf courses, the Augusta National of franchises. Who are the top 5? We're going to add a face to Mount Rushmore of franchises that you think, you know what? Anybody, even if they were a baseball coach, would love to be the head coach of this franchise. Best well-ran franchises, all the things. What are the top 5?
And across all sports.
All sports, everything out there.
Lakers. I would put
Lakers. I think the Lakers are a prestigious one.
obviously the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, so that's interesting for me. We've got 5 spots. We've added a face on Rushmore just because we can. It's AI. I'm sure we could add anybody.
That's a homer pick, obviously.
I don't think you're wrong. You can't be the most valuable franchise in the world and not be on that list. My question is it big enough? Are the Steelers good enough to be added on and have 2 footballs? So she's got
I would say no.
She's got the Lakers and the Cowboys. I've got the Steelers over there wondering if they should start chiseling. I mean, I think the other obvious one is the New York Yankees.
The Yankees are obvious.
So you got the Lakers, the Yankees, and the Cowboys.
I would put the Celtics on that list. Back, not recent.
No, but I think that's my question. It's still that franchise now.
I don't
And
think that's the Steelers. Like Steelers would never enter my brain.
I don't know about that.
But that's just me. I
Right.
wouldn't put them in the top 5.
I mean, I don't know. Thinking about we're just a coaching position at the Steelers right now is open, and what they were going to do, who they're going to get. Will it be another long run? You mentioned that. I think that their consistency with the coaches would be a major reason why, if I was one of the guys whose hat was in the ring, that would be a job that I would want, because there hasn't been a lot of turnover.
because that leash that you talked about, Misty, is longer.
And I think that, to me, 17 years, you're hanging your hat on that Super Bowl for a long time.
Yeah.
17
No,
years.
you are.
Like I just don't agree with
But
it.
now you're being a hypocrite, because you're hanging the hat on the Cowboys have 5 Super Bowls, and it's like whole generations of people have never seen the Cowboys win a playoff game of any consequence.
But
And she admitted it was a homer pick.
I did. That's exactly. So yeah, correct.
Yeah.
This is my answer, not yours.
Yeah,
It's my bag.
It's
Stick
my
it.
bag.
But I do agree with it. The reason
if you're under 35 years of age, you have no memory of the Cowboys ever being good.
Right. But I do where I agree with Misty, and I go back to the value of the franchise now, and also the not only the value of the franchise but their relevancy. I think people. But anyway, so all right, we got the Cowboys, we got the Lakers, and the Yankees. You and I are thinking the Steelers should possibly be on there.
They're possibly.
But
I
Misty
think
is
the Patriots-
unchiseled.
I think the Patriots are ahead of the Steelers.
I would definitely agree with that.
Okay.
I mean,
All right, so now you got the
there's
Patriots.
more recency to that, and I would not have said that if not for their success this year. Because you could always write them off. It was just the Belichick and Brady show, and, you know, they're gone now, so they're a different place. But now with a completely new, you know, new regime, years separated, not any sort of Belichick coattails, they're very good again.
You
Yeah.
put the Chiefs on that list?
No. I'm putting, if we're moving the Steelers away from it, I could see the Patriots because what they are doing now. But I would not put the Chiefs because that would be 100% bias. Now, do I think the Kansas City Chiefs is one of the franchises? 100% because the Hunt family's been there a long time. The Hunt family has the AFC trophy named after the Hunt family. So I could see that be fine. I don't disagree. I don't, you know, probably one that, you know, we're not hockey people, but there's probably, you know, some stance on, you know, are the, you know, the Boston Bruins or the Penguins, are those people into that category? And so I think it's hard coming up with, honestly, one, and not just because of what they've done recently, but because the Dodgers have been really good for a long time. Even before that, winning other championships, they could be up in that, on that wall along with the Yankees. So you got Cowboys, you got Patriots, you got Yankees, you got Dodgers. The Celtics would well, it'd be the Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers.
I think the Lakers off of more. I would probably say it is the Lakers, even though, you know, all the things. So,
but how long do you get, you know, back to the Cowboys? The Yankees also fall into this, but they've had more recent success. The Yankees have, you know, 27 World Series champions, the Hall of Famers that are like next level. Everybody that even lives in America knows about them, not just baseball fans. You know, like the Yankees obviously are that team. But how long do you get to be that if you're the Cowboys? Because you've got 5 Super Bowls. So, you know, it's good. That's towards the top. But you're not just lapping the field as far as that goes. And it's been a long time since there's been success. So how long do you get to say you are like a premier franchise?
I think as long as you stay atop of the money, you get to be that. And
depending on your age, like Josh's point, if we ask somebody 30 years older than us, this list is totally different. I mean, I think that our age and how we grew up changes the direction that we answer this question.
Oh, yeah, because I think if you talk to somebody who was a Cowboys fan in the 70s, the Steelers are definitely on the list.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, like, because the Cowboys were and the Steelers were like bitter enemy, arch rivals, you know, like all of the things. And the Cowboys have fewer Super Bowls because the Steelers were also good in the 70s.
But I also think if you were to bring in 18 to 22-year-olds, the Chiefs would be on there. The Patriots may be on there. Dodgers would probably be on there. And some random NBA team. Honestly, you know who would be on there? The Golden State Warriors.
Well, especially now, yeah.
You're right.
Like if you were to ask a group of, I think of juniors in high school to sophomores in college, I bet the Golden State Warriors would be on there. The Kansas City Chiefs would be on there.
Probably the Patriots.
Maybe the Patriots if they could remember enough of Tom Brady. And then I also think that, for sure the Golden State Warriors. And then they might, for some of them, just because they grew up with Dirk, they might say the Mavs.
They might.
But depending on them.
We could break it down by like age range and get, it would be interesting to do that.
Right.
And see how everybody answered.
Right.
I don't know. The Celtics will still be up there, I think, because they've won 2 championships fairly recently. They've got star players now.
Right.
You know,
Some would probably say the Bulls, depending on their age, because of all.
They would have to,
successful
they had had to
players.
have fallen asleep into a coma in 1996
Yeah.
and not ever be awake because
yeah, because the Bulls, obviously, they won six titles, which is crazy, but it was over an 8-year span,
Yeah.
7 years, whatever it was.
And-
You know,
and-
Which deserves some notoriety.
So,
which was because of Jordan and the other team people around him making him better, but he was one of the big deals. So, well, we may talk more about college football, but we got about a few minutes left. Big news here. One, we got the college football playoff happening, championship Monday night. But the other is, did you see Jason Witten, new tight ends coach at the University of Oklahoma? Tay Moore not going to the NFL, staying at Oregon. Big decision. I think he'd only played 20 games at Oregon. I think he's doing the smart thing that Anthony Richardson wished he would have done. Jumping to the NFL too soon. Oregon guy coming back as well. Indiana, Miami, a lot of storylines. Miami home game. Kirk Signetti, 64 years old. Can he win it all and bring a championship home to what people call a basketball school? Fernando Mendoza versus Carson Beck. Make the decision, left Georgia, enter NFL draft, back out of it, into the college national championship game. I think you've got, ironically, 2 Power 5, Power 4 teams, but you've got a favorite in Indiana, and you've got this, I got in when nobody else thought we should be in, Miami. I think it's setting up for a great Monday night.
Yeah, who do y'all have? Like,
Well, obviously, I can't win our pick'em, our bracket challenge. Matt Casey and MG Dean are at the top. If Miami can win, Swade Hayes would win because he's got the most right now with Georgia, obviously not in it. And then you've got, so I've got Indiana winning it. I just don't see, I mean, nobody, you think about their playoff run. They got the bye, didn't bother them. They destroyed Alabama.
do you think it's similar to the Alabama game, or do you think it's going to be closer with Miami?
Here's the thing, and I said this last night, and I've not watched every play. I'm not Dan Orlowski. I've not watched every play of Indiana, but I know in the last few weeks, and Josh, you may have seen this, Mendoza hadn't been hit. I mean, that guy's played so good. The up front has been flawless. They could run with all these things. So, but I think the difference is, can Miami put enough pressure, hit him a couple of times? Yes, I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Miami plays good enough defense that it shouldn't be a blowout. And the other side of it is Carson Beck is playing pretty good right now. I mean, I still can't believe that great touchdown he had to win the ball game the other night.
That wasn't.
well,
So I have Indiana winning it.
I have Indiana winning it also, but, and I believe you were part of the text group, I'm sure, Hodge, but during the previous game, I said, if you want to learn how to play offensive line, just watch Indiana. You know, like, as a cohesive unit, doing their job, like, outstanding. And I couldn't name a single person that's on that line. I don't know how highly regarded they are as far as, you know, pro potential or anything like that. Couldn't name a soul. They all pick up their assignments. They're very well coached, and they do what they're supposed to do. Conversely, what has impressed me the most with Miami in their run is how good their defensive front has been and how they've controlled ball games by playing their front seven,
Right.
6, 7. I didn't mean that in the way that, you know, but 6 or 7, depending on their I hate that.
I do too. That's why
Sorry,
said
I can't say words that are like relevant to the situation because they have a front 6 and nickel or a front 7. But they have played very well. So that, to me, is kind of the key to this matchup because that's strength on strength. And, I mean, that's going to be what determines how the game goes.
What's going to be the score?
I have no idea. These
Give
games have
me
all
give me a
scored.
guess.
These games have all scored more points than I thought they would have. But I don't know. I'll go like 27-20, decent action, but win Indiana.
All right, Hodge, what's the score gonna be?
What did you have, Josh?
27-20.
27-20. I would love that because that means you're going to want to watch it all. They don't have a long week off. It's just a week off. It's not a big break, which would be a normal regular season bye. You have one and boom. Or if you played on a Thursday or whatever. So I'm going to go Indiana wins. They score a late touchdown. I'll go 30-20.
Okay, I was gonna say 30, now I'm gonna change it. I'll go.
You jotting these down, Josh?
No, I don't need records when I'm wrong.
I'm gonna do something similar to the Bama game. I'm gonna go, but a little bit hard for the other side. I'll go 38-21.
Okay, 38-21, 30-20, 27-20, all have Indiana Hoosiers bringing the Dr. Pepper Trophy home. When we come back, we'll kick off hour number 2, Misty's Bag.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no doubt, Moy. Hope you're feeling better, buddy.
I had not looked at the odds on that game, but maybe I should just go do it. I have not looked at the spread for the line. It's 8.5. There's 48.5 over under. So I said Indiana by 7 is 47 points. So Miami, Indiana. Because think about that, like, I haven't even looked to see what the line was. My prediction is right about what.
Josh, do you have some insider stuff that I should know about?
Well, I made a little money off that ACU stuff, so joking.
It's crazy, man. Mateer comes back to Oklahoma, the quarterback there. I think that's the other thing that you're going to see happen is.
Oh, people aren't going to throw. I read about that the other day.
Like, why would you want to go pro?
Because I looked at the.
You need some tape?
Well, no, it's just, it looks funny crooked, but like,
Did you hear what I said?
I'll wear this during your segment.
yes,
I
and
have not looked at what the spread or the line.
oh yeah, I don't know what it is either. What is it?
I look like a.
It's Indiana plus 8.5.
It actually matches good with your purple, and it's so cute. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
That's it. Oh.
I know Frank is out
Yeah.
front.
Well, if you look over here, I've got this light
It's
above me.
amazing.
It's like little halo glow.
I love it. I'll be posting that.
Broken halo.
48.5 is the over under.
Oh.
8.5 is the spread. So I just did 7 and 47.
Josh basically has insider information. That'd be like.
Wouldn't it be crazy though if it was like just a complete thrashing? Like, no, I don't think
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't just thrashing. I don't expect that. But
that Alabama game, I don't know. That was just wild.
No, but to your point, Hodge, I read an article the other day. people aren't going pro, and it was showing how like a mid-round draft pick quarterback is making more in college than they are in the NFL.
They're trying to pay the guy from Indiana $5 million to stay, to come back. Welcome back to the Hodgepodge as we kick off hour number 2, 8 o'clock right here on 106.9, the Country Giant. Hour number 2 brought to you by Coleman County State Bank. ColemanBank.com when you need a new house, rental, commercial, you name it. Reach out to the folks at Coleman County State Bank. Tammy and her team will get you going in the mortgage world. It is now time for Misty's Bag. We're opening it up right now.
As always, we want to thank Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf during this segment. They've been such a great supporter of our show. And I want to remind everybody to check out their Facebook page. That is where all the specials are going down. And so on Wednesdays, you can get your BOGO wings. And if you buy a bucket of beer, you get a free small bucket of balls.
Hey, again, appreciate those downloads, subscribe, and review. Oh, my hat just fell.
Lost his tiara, his birthday crown.
I did lose my tiara. But I will say the other thing about Mulligan's, they've added to their menu.
They have changed it.
There's some quesadillas now. Amazing, great stuff. Definitely go check out Mulligan's on Ben Ritchie.
Yeah, they've added some stuff that was kind of on the secret menu that now is available for everyone, and so it's amazing. And so I'm usually there on Wednesdays. A group of us go, and it's just always a great time at Mulligan's. So I'm laughing at this question that I'm going to ask y'all. So the question of the week is, if your co-host were scented candles, what would they smell like and what would they be called?
Scented candles.
Oh my gosh, I got things I don't know if yours would be called That's What She Said.
What would it smell like?
Yeah, what's the
That
scent?
was my nervous part of it.
Yeah, well,
I mean, obviously sunshine and roses,
Yeah,
I've never smelled sunshine.
glitter.
it's the beach. Again, another great Seinfeld episode. That's pretty good.
I love the
Well,
silence.
right now, Hodge just need to smell like a cupcake, but
Yeah, handle on me.
yeah.
Well, I go back in those that have been with us for 7 years, and especially the last 7, that Josh, Misty, and I came together as the official Hodge Pack. The funny thing would be to say that's the same. When you go to Lytle, which one would we be? Josh would definitely be the pepper jalapeno popper.
He is the spicy one.
Because he is the spicy one. If you go back to last week, Lauren Backus said she went back and listed and said it was funny, just like, yeah, Josh got a little heated. Anyway.
We're going to have to answer that too. I want to know that.
Yeah,
Which part of the Hodge Pack are we?
But anyway, but focus on that. That's what she said. But I go back to all the different things that Misty has said. As you could tell, she made sure she enunciated the read correctly with the small bucket of balls. But I don't know what you would smell.
Delightful.
It would be delightful, yeah. I mean, it'd be a scent that you would not want to blow out and run away from.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Josh is like, I beg to differ.
You don't sit by her on Fridays.
Yeah.
Whatever that is that she does wear, I don't know. It makes my nose.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sometimes you'll have smelled it because I'll be coming in here.
Well,
spraying.
I mean,
And I'm sorry for that, but I usually do spray it in here.
oh, yes, you do. I would say for Josh, it would definitely be something outdoorsy named.
Bear
Bear punch.
Bear punch.
This is the hardest question you may have ever asked.
Well, because
I love it so much.
well, it is good, but
It's so weird.
but you're trying to think of a smell that isn't bad. That like you don't want to play like the jelly bean bamboozle or whatever. Where
Oh yeah.
I smell like rotten egg. Yeah.
Ew.
Blown dirt.
Fart spray. That's
blown dirt. Candle scent, blown dirt. But you start thinking about candles because they're all kinds of candles.
Josh could smell like grass too.
Oh, yeah.
He's the yard guy.
fresh cut grass.
Fresh-
That'd be a weird,
Freshly mowed,
Freshly
Did,
mowed.
did you just mow the grass? No. That's-
freshly mowed. That's Josh,
Tried
no
and
doubt.
trimmed. Tried and trimmed.
Never mind that company.
You have-
I got a company
you
name, but
have
they
a
don't
little-
pay us, so I'm
little-
not going to
little
say
bit
that.
of Gasoline with the grass.
No, that's just when you blow it out. You get that. Oh, the reminder. I need a fill of a gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, freshly mowed, Josh scented candle.
Yes.
And you would smell like fresh cut.
Like just like
grass.
I was going to say RIP, a freshly mowed, like football field, but they're all gone to turf.
Yeah.
Like just like your Beretta yard used to be like, put a peg in the ground, throw a golf ball down, and hit off of it. So Josh is freshly mowed. There you go. That's it.
All right.
Done.
Okay.
Well, that's good. See, I was thinking, well, actually, the only thing that has stuck in my mind, and I can't get off of it, and I don't want to say this because it's not meant to be offensive, but bless your heart.
Uh-oh, is he attacking you or me?
No.
Let's go to commercial.
No button.
Neither one. Just when you talked about the scent and what you would smell like, the scene from Tommy Boy where he rubbed the pine scented car air freshener on
Yes.
himself.
Yeah.
Is that Josh?
I just pictured Hodge with the pine scented air freshener. He does not resemble Chris Farley, so let's not go too
I don't know. I better start losing some weight, or I'm going to.
Can you dance like the Sways though?
Oh, no doubt. I can.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
yeah.
You
I
can
can
see
do
his moves.
Yeah. All right. So you're going with that.
What is my, so he is pine,
Yes.
he's gonna smell like
We'll
pine.
call it Tory pines.
There.
So-
Oh, there you go.
it's
It's a little
Oh,
golf.
I
little
see
golf-
what
There you
you
a little
did
golf
there.
What's
reference
funny-
in there.
A little golf
What's
nod.
funny is, of course, unfortunately, my fourth grade teacher passed away this past week, and you get to see people at the funeral and all that. And I saw two guys that when I was younger, I was in elementary. I kind of looked up to them playing basketball, Wade and Ted, and they used to always call me Ride the Pine, like Ride the Pine on the bench, Ride the Pine, Ryan. But anyway,
Right.
all right, Ride the Pine, Ryan. Anyway, so all right. So what would Misty? I mean, because Misty does come in and spray. Today, I guess, was a non-spray day. She must have sprayed before she got home. In my defense, I did wake y'all up, or y'all were probably already up when I sent you the text about the basketball scandal.
I didn't want to spray today because this was my question. I wanted y'all to have what scent I would be.
But we are in the mall, so we've got options right down the hall
I
here.
did purchase it at the Mall of Abilene at Victoria's Secret.
There you
It's
go.
what I normally wear something from Victoria's Secret.
There you go. So that's what she said. Secret would be the name of it.
That's pretty good.
And the good thing is we don't want. This is what made me laugh a while ago, Misty, when y'all were asking why my wheels were turning. Is there's been so many funny lines, but all those I don't want you to smell like those.
Yeah, like the small
Yeah,
bucket of balls.
So-
That's a terrible thing.
yeah. Or your sister's graduation.
Right, yes.
Your
Also, the
sister.
Steel underoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are not things that you want to smell. So I think yours would. But I mean, your smell. It just smells good. I don't know what you'd want to call it. This is a bit of a stumper on what to call it. Because we do know that, let's face it, they're going to buy a candle more than they buy ours.
Yeah, for sure.
But there is something to say when you go out, and I know it's a golf thing for me. When you go and you see a fresh, and of course we need some rain, Lord, please send some rain.
We definitely do that.
You see a great, amazing manicured fairway, and it's just green, or it's a baseball field, and they've got the lines shaded this way and that way, and it is a good smell. It is a good smell.
Yes, it is.
And so, freshly mowed by Josh, light it up, put it in your room, let the magic happen. It'd be great. And rub pine tar or whatever I am on you.
Pine tar, that's even
Tory
better.
Pine.
Tory Pines, brought to you by. There you go, the secret. So what are we calling hers?
Well, I was trying to think of something going back to, previous show topics, but I'm hung up. But I was thinking something with like sparkle.
Okay.
That was the word that came to mind. Now, what that smells like is, yeah, I don't know. It's like, because I'm not good at this. My sense of smell is not that acute anyway.
It's normally clogged up.
Yeah, my nose is always, I've got allergies and I can't go into Bath and Body Works, so I might pass out. But that there's, I don't know, just that like almost fruity.
Okay, see, I thought fruity a little bit too. Fruity Sparkles.
Fruity Sparkles.
Sounds like a cereal.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Sparkles brought to you by Misty. Spray away.
Actually,
Fruity Sparkles, spray away.
Hey, we can go to Abilene Candle Company and probably make something like this. So I'm gonna have to look into this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got to say I'm longer to think
Pretty
about this.
a money-making idea, sell candles.
Off the shelf. I'm just telling you. Freshly mowed.
Just go knock on people's doors and sell
Yeah,
it.
we should.
Are you ready for? Anyway,
So
so
I've had a little bit longer to think about this. This question came to me last night on the way to San Angelo for Collins basketball game. So of course we always, get on Hodge about his eating habits. And so when I think of Hodge, I'm going like Chicky Mac, like chicken nuggets, mac and cheese. So I'm thinking like, a toddler's lunch or something like.
That sums up
like-
normal diet.
honestly, mine could be called kids meal.
Yeah, like Chicky Mac, smells like a toddler's lunch, but we love everything about it because we love a good mac and
I
cheese
do like mac and cheese.
and chicken nuggets. So
It's what I get at Mulligan's sometimes.
Right. This is definitely not a dig.
For you at home, ask them to put some hamburger meat in there in the Mulligan's hamburger helper.
Oh yeah, their mac and cheese is really good.
How'd you also ask for the most random things? That's okay.
He does.
Here's my candle. Light it, see what happens. Random smell. It could be the toddler mac.
Maybe
Pine.
it'll blow up in your face like a short cigar.
Well,
hot lunch and pine needles.
Ugh.
again, you're welcome. Feel free to buy those next time you get. So again, we got candles, freshly mowed, Fruity Sparkles, and light and see what happens. Chicky Mac. When we come back, the NFL playoffs, I think, great weekend. Josh Allen, a little banged up. Sam Darnold, a little banged up. What will happen right after this?
Man.
That was good.
And I was gonna call you Spicy Barbecue Bear.
Oh, yeah. I knew you got cut off, but we ran out of time.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna come back and tell your.
And then you can,
I gotta go with Kiki.
but TT, when he says, I can't. When the grown man says TT, I can't.
I'm sorry.
It's like when Doza's saying mommy. I can't.
I gotta go potty.
Yeah, no, don't say that either. You can prop that open with a chair. It actually works pretty good. Yeah, I was like, I wanted a super weird random question this week. And yeah, I was thinking about this last night and yes, I was like, I gotta do something. It can't just be all sports every week. Gotta change it up. I'm so glad today's Friday. It's been a good week. It's just been a long week. Who won the pick'em?
I did.
Okay. I noticed
We
that
were
you.
not ever really talk about it.
I saw that you had the belt, but
Yeah, Barrett went last year, and none of my co-workers won. It was, I never did go back and finish that totally the whole thing. There was a few weeks that I didn't put it into the master spreadsheet. Just getting busier than, but there were people that did very well in the pick'ems one week, but didn't pick every week. Yeah, so, I spotted a zero.
Honestly, I think the probably person that deserves this is probably Heather.
Yeah.
Still, tomorrow is supposed to be chilly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, if they listen, they know. If you know, you know.
Josh, I'm really disappointed you did not sign up for the.
Are you giving up your scene career?
No, I just wanted myself.
Very disappointed.
I'm like so busy. Like,
We don't need that as an excuse.
you know, like, obviously I get paid to go there, but my work now, just my day to day in the office is like probably 4 times this year than the bank that I was at for the previous 4 years. You know, like,
So just taxing.
yeah, well, I don't have any of this like, oh, I'm gonna do this real fast, you know, like,
Bless you.
like,
Bless you, spicy barbecue bear.
and at my previous job, I could do things like, I don't know, total the football picks at work.
Right.
You know,
Right.
take 15 minutes to do something, and it was like, no big deal.
Okay. I'm flexing today, so I just gotta make it to 12.
Yeah, I'm not working this afternoon.
I'm getting
You're
nails
what?
done.
I'm not working.
You're what?
I'm getting the
You going to
nails
lunch
done.
today? Yeah. I took the afternoon off because it's a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to ranch, it's the last weekend of deer season, so.
What Hodge, what we're talking about this, what are the Hodge, cheese, it's the cheese,
Cheese stick, tenders, and
then I'm obviously the cheese steak. 'Cause
And,
he's the chicken.
chips and salsa in queso.
Oh, I'm gonna be the cheese steak.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
So there's 4 things.
Probably should not. I actually can't remember.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Hodgepodge Sports Life and everything in between. Hope everybody's having a great day. Rocking and rolling, hour number 2. A lot of things to cover. We got the NFL playoffs. Missy's got to go early, but she has Josh's name.
Yeah, so I think for Josh's candle, I came up with spicy, not spicy, spicy barbecue bear, because obviously bear is a nickname, and he's usually getting pretty hot on some takes, and sometimes he slams down our, which it's holding up pretty good.
Yeah, I appreciate
the
it.
table.
yeah.
And then I'm thinking you're gonna smell like some sort of like smoky, like leather.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
weathered,
That's good.
smoky leather. That's what I think about when I think about
Makes
Josh.
me think I should smoke a Marlboro Red.
Yeah, yeah,
but I'm
smoked
gonna-
out Marlboro Reds, yeah. So yeah, that's what I think Josh would smell like if he was a candle.
We are lit and we are candled up, man. And so, speaking of lit, we've got a big playoff game scheduled this week. Starts tomorrow, the divisional round. And so, looking forward to a great weekend. Last weekend were great games, except the last one. All of them were good. The Bears Packers game lived up to it. Caleb Williams had a great finish. The Bears win that game. Just a really great set of games last week that made the NFL a lot of fun, which a lot of times, let's face it, it's not. But they lived up to it because the Bills, Jack, going to be Pats, Chargers, and then of course the Texans, Steelers, and the 49ers eliminating the Eagles, and I think creating a lot of issues and questions in Philly.
That was the big takeaway for me of last week was, one, Aaron Rodgers, and what some are thinking is probably his last game. There's not been any commitment on that yet, but.
Should it be his last game?
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't play very well.
I just wanted to make sure we were all in agreement.
And how interesting that Texans game was in the fact of in the first half, it was like the Texans were trying to see if they could lose. And then, but the Steelers just never could get anything going, with 2 fumbles, an interception, and nothing in return for the Steelers offense.
You're exactly right. The Steelers defense gave them every opportunity.
But then, obviously, the Eagles. We talked about it last week. The Eagles are the Astros equivalent in the National Football League, and so I take a little bit of okay, good. They're not going to win a Super Bowl when they lose, and I agree with you, Hodge. I think that their season this year has created a lot of question marks going forward on
a lot of fronts.
Yes, and the Jalen Hurts looks very good. Obviously, at times looks very mediocre at times. I like question marks with that. So,
which I think helps the Cowboys.
All right.
Yeah, my favorite game of the weekend, the Bears, because I felt like as a Cowboys fan, we got revenge, even though we weren't in it, but it reminded me of a few years ago when they just let us have it in the wild card. And there were possible tears that night. I was so mad. And so I just was watching that game. I loved every minute of it because, now they got a little taste of what they did to us a few years ago.
And that Caleb Williams, was one of those guys that, earlier this year when I was talking about those first-round quarterbacks and how it often doesn't pay off, he was on that list that did not look like he was living up to his billing. But that, to me, shows what that coaching change can do.
It does matter.
He got a good coach that can help quarterbacks succeed. He did so with Jared Goff. When Jared Goff was kind of in limbo, I guess, and now does it with Caleb Williams. So,
and my thing is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Obviously, Misty didn't play football, but
yes, I did.
As I think football coaches, if they're the right coaches, are the ones that make the difference the fastest. In that they actually can make a huge difference. Because you see that when they go to places, and I mentioned it, it's still about Jimmy and Joe's. But when that right coach gets paired up with the right people, it's a game changer. You can be a really good coach at certain places, and they just don't change. I guess it's because even though there's some audibles involved, when Ben Johnson calls a play, he's calling it. And I just think football coaches make a huge difference. And we're seeing that with Ben Johnson. And also, I think we maybe even see it with Canales out in Carolina. Even though they lost, Bryce Young is another one of those that they thought maybe is going to be not done away with. Number 1 draft pick out of Alabama, all the things. And they gave LA everything they wanted last week. And so I just think it's going to be it was an entertaining weekend. Last weekend. I want to talk about this weekend. Now we know for a fact we are going to have a new Super Bowl champion. Not only are we going to have a new Super Bowl champion, the previous 2 champions aren't going to win. Kansas City didn't get in the dance. Philadelphia's out of the dance. You've got tomorrow, Bills, Broncos, the early game, and the 49ers, Seahawks, the second game. It's been reported Sam Darnold has an oblique injury. Is he going to be okay? He says he's got every intentions to play. I hope he plays because I don't want to see Drew Lock in this game. No offense, Drew, as the backup quarterback, their best chance is Sam Darnold. But that Broncos-Bills game, Josh Allen maybe a little banged up.
Oh, I'm so glad they won. Like, Josh, how happy were you about Josh
There was-
actually doing the dang thing? Gosh, he limped in though. But I was so happy that they got that
What
win.
about the Bill Mafia tush push that was like a first, like,
Yeah,
10 yards?
Yeah,
they
that was
almost scored a-
amazing.
it was the longest push of a tush
Yeah.
of all time.
The
Yeah.
4th and inches from the 10-yard line, and you go down to the 1-inch line,
Yeah.
like, it was,
A lot of tush and pushing. A lot.
and
Great.
that was a funny play to watch too, because it was like, as it's happening, it's like, all right, they got the first down, and you kind of like are not paying as much attention, maybe, you're thinking, okay, they're in a pile, and then like the pile just keeps on.
It reminded me, that one scene in Austin Powers where they try to get rid of Will Ferrell, and every time they push a button, he go level. I'm still here. I'm still okay. And then he went to another place. I'm still. And that's what I thought there. You mentioned the Bears-Packers game. Good game. Great comeback for the Bears. And then the 49ers, again, beating the Eagles. Really good games. So we moved on to Saturday. We got Bills, Broncos. Do you think the Bills are good enough? Because somebody asked me who I thought would win. The Broncos defense is really, really good. I don't know if their offense is good enough to stop Josh Allen. And what I mean by that, how is their offense going to stop Josh Allen? Can their offense outscore Bills and Josh Allen?
I don't know. I'm really worried about the Bills in this game because, as I said earlier, Josh was, limping around. Some other players limping around. They got it done. They found a way, but it wasn't pretty. And so the Broncos, I think the Broncos will beat the Bills. I don't want that to happen because I am a Homer, like Bills Mafia fan as of, 4 or 5 years ago. But what I saw of the Bills last week, I just don't think that they can do it.
Do you think they pull it off? Does Sean Payton out coach McDermott?
Well, I mean, that's a strong possibility. I would like the Bills to win just because, we've talked about it a lot. They've become my adjacent team since the Cowboys are not doing anything. But the Broncos, like you mentioned, their defense is good. They're playing at home. At this point of this late in any pro season, college season, there's people that are injured, fighting through things, so that's going to be part for both teams. But if Josh Allen's not 100%, it makes it much more difficult. So if I was forced to make a pick, I would say Broncos win. But it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's every metric that you look at, it's
Points
close.
to Denver. Yeah, and it's close.
But yes, but it all points to Denver. But the ESPN has their little game predictor thing, and it's like a 51-49 in favor of Denver. Okay. The line tilts towards Denver, but close.
All right, so I want to move to this one real quick because I do want to get to Sunday's games. But Seattle is a 7-point favorite over the 49ers. And I don't know if that's because Kittle, and if y'all saw Kittle's leg, when he hit, it looked like, those tape measures that you put, then when you get done, and it went all the way up to, man, that was awful.
Yeah.
But that Tungs guy, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, tight end, they've been fine. The Darnold, I think it's going to be the defense of Seattle that if they do win, it's going to be their reason. But I've got the 49ers winning that one. Bears going to be booty cold in Chicago.
What is booty cold mean?
I don't know, but it's pretty cold.
Heard that term.
I've never heard that.
It's cold.
But I guess if you sit on the bleachers, your booty.
Yes.
I don't know.
Ironically, the Patriots have a receiver named Booty, which I think is hilarious. Not spelled well, it is spelled Booty, but not like BOOTY. Anyway, oh my. I need the Rams to win. I picked the Rams early. Actually, I'm in another deal where I need the 49ers to win. That's another story. So who do y'all have in these? And then the Patriots-Texans game, can the Patriots score against that amazing Texans defense?
Texans defense is amazing.
They are for real.
I think I have the Patriots in that because I do think their offense has clicked at a very high level. And the fair weather West Coast team going to a very cold, I think if if that was not the case, I'd say Rams all the way. But I think I'll lean Bears.
Which who would have thought? I mean, last year they were awful.
Yes.
So it is crazy.
I mean, their coach got fired, and we hired him as a defense, and now he got fired.
They found a way to win ball games.
And we fired him this year as a defensive coordinator.
So we talked about this. I guess it was last week when the Bears were in the playoffs and they were coming up on their game versus the Packers. How when the Cowboys lost to the Bears early in the season, everyone thought that, man, how did the Cowboys lose to the Bears? They're terrible.
Now I don't feel so bad about that.
Quality loss.
Yes.
But so it'll be good. Of those games, is the Bears Broncos the most? I know probably the most intriguing to you. If you had to pick another one, Misty, which of these games are most intriguing to you?
Man, I'm going to pick the Texans and the Patriots. I really, really have enjoyed the Texans this year and what they're doing, and the Patriots also. So I am looking forward to that matchup, and then of course the Bills and Broncos. But the other one definitely, I would pick the Texans and the Patriots.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud's really going to have to not have a game like he had against the Steelers.
If he does that, it's going to be 30-6 Patriots.
Right. So because they won't be able to stay in the game versus the offense that the Patriots have. So but that is I agree with Misty. That's the number 2 game on my list of what I'm looking forward to watching.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, again, that's NFL talk. Enjoy your games. Misty Hodge, Josh, right here, carrying you to the top of the hour. When we come back, FCA All-Star Game. No longer just a game, lots of games, a lot of weeks, a lot of players, and the guy that helps make all that happen is going to join us right after this.
Can we do a quick selfie before I leave? I got to be to the foundation by 9, so I'm like, where to go? I've got to. Okay. Oh, thank you. Have a whole Friday. Perfect. Okay, thanks. I'll get it posted. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
To Hodge.
It is.
Josh, good to see you.
It's good to see
Hope
you.
everything's good in your world.
We're rocking and rolling. I'm actually stepping into a new role at the FCA.
Are you?
So I'm moving up we're staying in Abilene, but I'm moving up to the Texas State Leadership Team.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
congratulations.
going to be Texas State Leadership Team. I'm going to be training directors across the state.
So is Keenum still doing it, or is Keenum retired?
No, you're
See
good. Yeah, so Keenum's still with FCA. He is on
And
the
you'll be
same
there.
leadership team that I'm on. He is trying to replicate what we've done in Abilene with youth sports just
Okay.
across the state. A Chris Seal to fund a new youth sports facility. What are you going to do for your birthday?
I'm going to go to Coleman and officiate 2 basketball games.
Heck yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Exciting. Who are they playing?
It's Ballinger and Coleman.
Okay. So you got JV and varsity or guys?
Varsity girls, varsity boys. It should be entertaining as always.
Yeah.
We'll just the normal softball talk about this past weekend, selecting the kids, coaches, who the head coaches for. Unfortunately, we'll talk. We want to say we can do a long list of them.
Yeah.
I mean, football's still going to be king, whether people like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to talk about every coach, but we can talk about the sports, where they're going to be played.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty smooth process this year.
I saw Coach Reed and got to be a proud dad. And he said, I guess Stryker was the first pick of all of them.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which says a lot for
because we do all the coaches' kids are automatic picks, so we put them and we go through all the coaches' kids first and select all of them, and then we select, connected to FCA somehow, but we want to make sure that they get chosen as well. And then we go into yeah, I'm hoping start going to play. Because some of those D1 kids, they don't always get to play.
Oh, Air Force may say no.
Yeah. Like Adam Hill was the first pick a couple years ago, and Joey said, no, we don't want him to get hurt. We're investing in him. But even ACU, like Sutton Peck was last year's first pick, and KP, so we really need you to be at workouts and lifting, and we don't want you to get hurt either. So,
Which makes sense.
yeah.
Which it's their version of opting out of the bowl game.
Yeah.
Good call, Hodge. Right. Welcome back to the Hodgeback Sports Life and everything in between. When you hear that, you know it's time for our Big Country Electric My Town segment, brought to you by Big Country Electric Cooperative, taking care of their members each and every day, from Roby, Snyder, and Stanford, and all across their service territory. We highlight a local player coacher program, and today we're highlighting an organization and a ministry that has impacted a lot of folks in those service areas of Big Country Electric. Joining us, he's got a new title, so I'm going to let him tell you that. But with Big Country FCA, Josh Hardcastle, appreciate you coming in this morning.
Yeah, thanks. So I've served as the Metro Director for the Big Country FCA the past 3 years, and we basically cover the 14 counties west, north, and east of Taylor County. And then I'm stepping into a new role, Regional Director of Talent Advancement for FCA and for the state of Texas. So I'm going to be supporting directors in my seat currently across the state in training, hiring, recruiting new people to their staff.
And so for those that may not know, what is FCA? It stands for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It's been around, I don't know off the top of my head, how long has FCA been around?
More than 30 years now at this point.
Here.
Yeah.
It's been around a lot longer than 30 years across the beginning of it.
Yeah, so from the very beginning, 1964, in Estes Park, Colorado is where FCA was birthed. And so it's been around for more than 70 years at this point.
So been around a long time, helping athletes see how sports can connect them to ultimately, which is the C of that, and that's, becoming a believer in Christ and a disciple of Christ, and using sports as it. I mean, sports, we see it all the time. We see folks like Tim Tebow and those that form of sports, and we automatically think about those big athletes that have a pro platform, but each kid needs to understand whether you're a junior high athlete or a little league athlete or everything in between all the way up, you get to impact people. And so the FCA All-Star Game started with the football game many years ago. What year was that?
Yeah, year 2000. So we're playing our 27th game this year. And it all started with a dream of Steve Keenum back in the day. And it originally started as a fundraiser for FCA so that we could get FCA started. We had 4 FCA staff members in all of West Texas: Amarillo, Lubbock, Abilene, Odessa, El Paso. 4 staff members covering that large of an area. And so Steve, his vision was to have an all-star game that would bring in money to help support new staff, more staff. And so then it just kept growing and growing, but it became more of a mystery point because we saw a lot of kids that they came with no background in church and little faith, and that week turned into the pivotal catalyst for their faith to grow from the All-Star game.
Well, and again, it's grown to now multiple sports, multiple, and the other thing that's grown is what we now, right, wrong, and different, consider the big country. Because some of the teams that are considered big country FCA, they may not be getting the local channels here, which is fine because it's also expanding the availability, which means money's coming in, which is right, that you're allowed to have these sports. So talk about, again, this past weekend, y'all had the selection of those that have made the 2026 FCA All-Star Game. Talk about that process and now how many sports are being played.
Yeah, so originally it started, and we went from the 14 counties that we were serving all the way down to San Angelo, Stephenville, Brownwood. So we're covering 35 counties with this All-Star game, and we've expanded the sports to include volleyball, men and women's basketball, baseball, softball, and then we even invite cheerleaders as well.
But
to be part of all that.
Do y'all still have golf?
We don't have golf anymore. We did, but a couple years ago we stopped doing it.
Okay.
So we had that out in Eastland, but we're playing baseball and softball in Brownwood, and then we have all the other sports here in Abilene.
So basketball and volleyball are all here now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So who are the two head coaches for the football?
Yeah.
guys?
So for football, we've got Coach Scott Freeman from Junction and Clay McChristian from Graham this year.
Okay. Wow. So again, really broadened head coaching world, and tons of coaches have gotten to do that. That is one of the things I do miss. That, not saying that I would ever got selected, but either as a head coach or an assistant, to not coach in the basketball game. I was the head coach at Roby for 7 years and got out of it, but that's one thing that I think would have been a lot of fun to coach in that FCA All-Star game. Now, the other thing that y'all have done, and Josh can talk a little bit about this, is y'all created even some, I don't want to know if I call them FCA Little Leagues, but you've kind of broadened that age scope to your age kids, Josh.
Yes, my boys.
The other Josh.
Did play, yeah, it's confusing. Did play baseball for the FCA youth sports. That's kind of new, and that's kind of revolutionary, isn't it, as far as like FCA as a whole?
Yeah, so it's brand new. FCA Global came out with this initiative about 5-6 years ago back, to include youth sports, because what we saw was traditionally you didn't start FCA until middle school and then high school, college. But our president, and his wisdom, his vision was, man, we got to get to the heart of the child a lot faster than we've been doing it, because there's a race to the heart of the child, and if we can get, and it's not even about FCA, it's really about just how we can get kids to the feet of Jesus a lot faster, and then utilizing youth sports and utilizing a very vast ministry opportunity. And a lot of people may not see that as a ministry or a mission field, but man, if you're going to Dallas or to Houston or somewhere on the weekends to go play youth sports, it's a mission field, man. And you can look in the stands, you can hear from coaches, you can see how big of an impact is needed there in order to just make a difference in that culture.
Well, I'm on bigcountryfca.org. Pulled it up earlier before Josh came on, and the pictures that were on literally when you were talking were youth, looked like maybe youth softball, youth softball.
We have softball, baseball,
yeah,
and then volleyball.
Yeah, those are the pictures that had popped up, and I was just making sure that I was looking at it right, that it was not baseball, but I think it was softball, of kids playing at an early age, and again, I go back to how sports and your walk with the Lord is such a platform, and the lessons that are learned in sports, you can trace back to something probably Jesus taught. Mm-hmm. And so this week that y'all have in selecting coaches, in this past week of selecting players to June, it's a pretty big production, but it also takes a ton of people. And the other thing that I want to mention that has grown is how used to there was one Fields of Faith. It was at Shotwell, and you had to convince your people when you were bringing them from Roby to Abilene, we promise we'll be back. We don't know when. We're not sure how long it may go. And then we'll try to find something to eat, because it's hard to find something to eat before, but maybe get something on the way back, all the things. But now those have grown to different pockets of the big country. Sweetwater has them. Graham has one. That's been big. But talk about how you mentioned from 4 staffers to a lot more now, but still how the big country helps make FCA happen because volunteers and money.
Yeah, I mean, Fields of Faith is obviously one of our biggest events of the year, and this year we were at ACU and we packed out that home sideline. You mentioned Sweetwater and Graham. those things don't happen without our staff has grown to where just in the Abilene Big Country area we have 16 staff, but even that's not big enough. And we have had over 100 volunteers every year at Fields of Faith, and that's what's cool is it's not just one church we're pulling from, it's multiple churches. It's not just one community we're pulling from, it's multiple communities. And it's not just Abilene that is showing up. It's the Robies, it's the Albany and Graham and Breckenridge and Clyde. And so we're seeing all these communities coming together for a common purpose. But our hope is that, like with Fields of Faith, it doesn't just stay within those couple hours that we're at ACU, that they go back out into their communities and they're making an impact. And it's the same thing with All Stars. You know, we don't want these women who are about to go into the real world, whether it's college or the workforce or the military. We don't want them to come to All Stars as kind of a last hurrah, last party. We want to equip them with real life and real-time skills to go out into the world, to share their faith, to be different. I mean, we've had kids that have never had their own Bible before that have shown up at All Stars, that have been selected. We've had kids that have never prayed before, that we're helping them learn that in their faith.
And I think that's one thing, and I think other Josh Greer had some. So, but one thing that I think we take for granted is that, and again, assume there's a whole saying about it, is just because we live in the 325 or in this area, that you just assume everybody knows the story. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows the gospel. Everybody, you know, they may know what church is because they drive by them. And they may be even gone to a VBS, but they were there for the cookies and the Kool-Aid. But when you start explaining the gospel to them, then it starts clicking. And you cannot just assume that everybody has heard the story.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because, you know, it's kind of like this politics stuff. Somebody was saying like, well, what happened there? Like, you didn't know? I was like, well, it wasn't on ESPN. So I didn't see it. But I think that's really cool when you start hearing those stories. And we've seen across college campuses, you know, I was listening to, there's a podcast called Built for More. Joby Martin, I don't know if you've heard of him. I'm sure you have. I've just recently, and I don't know how I haven't heard of it even sooner because of my buddy Paul Tesori, but talking about how he's like, man, I was really nervous. I knew we were in trouble. Ohio State just had all these kids got saved and they just got baptized. I mean, it's not good, but you're starting to see teams and these cultures sharing Jesus. I think it's pretty big.
There has been a lot of that played out positively on TV with guys
which is shocking that it's getting the attention that it should get.
Yes, and it's that comes from people, you know, that are like you, that are out there, you know, representing, doing your thing, reaching people where they are, you know, and the FCA has always done that. That's one of the things that I took part in that when I was in high school. You know, it was, you know, go a little early, maybe get some donuts, you know, right. But that turns into more, you know, and I guess that's the whole point.
Yeah. I really believe that there's something going on with this generation, and there's a fire that's lit. But I think there's a hunger as well for God's word, for the faith, for something more.
Well, I think and I know we got a little bit of time left, but I think a lot of it is, the bottom line is most people, they just want to be valued. Mm-hmm. And they want to be, there's some acceptance. I think that's one of the reasons why you see maybe people go down past, because they get accepted for a moment in a group that they think fulfills something, and then it doesn't. But I think there's, people want to feel valued, people want hope, and people want to see that they want to be loved and all those things. And so, and when you look at the Creator, I tell people, and it'll probably make the sermon this Sunday, we only know what love, peace, grace, joy, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy is because of God. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't know what those things are if it wasn't for Him. And so being able to share that with kids, and then what you hope happens is those students and those athletes not only take it back, for example, take it back to their schools, take it back to where they're going. But now, because, hey, mom, this Bible, this, mom, dad, and you start seeing those things, and that's what you want to see happen through FCA. And so, real quick, Josh, FCA Josh, what can people do? How can people help? Because everything that happens, money can be beneficial. Maybe it's just sponsoring these kids that are playing.
Yeah, for sure. So every all-star that's selected, they're asked to raise support for their experience of All-Star Week. And so if you are connected to an athlete in a small community that is selected, reach out to them and say, hey, I'd love to support you. Let me know how it can help. If you have a local business that you would like to see sponsored or put on the program or have us at All Stars, you can definitely reach out to me, jhardcastle@fca.org. Also go to our website and you can contact us there. But yeah, anything, not just financially, but if there are ways that you'd like to support your FCA huddle, local FCA huddle. I mean, we talked about donuts and orange juice. Like, that's the quickest way to get to a kid's heart at 7:30 in the morning. They'll show up for that, and then they'll get more than that. But yeah, supporting your local huddle, reaching out to your local coach and just say, hey, do we have FCA? If not, I want to help support and get
have someone create it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. BigCountryFCA.org. You can check all that out. Get all the stuff that Josh talked about. And again, a lot of ways, it even says ways to get involved. You can check that out. Josh, appreciate you taking time this morning. Do you have a pick, Indiana or Miami Monday night?
Oh, man. I'm all for Indiana. I'd love to see them pull it out.
Yeah, I think Corey Signetti needs to be Googled in other ways. We'll come back. Josh and I will send you into that playoff weekend right after this.
All right. Gentlemen, appreciate it.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Yeah, we try to make it easy because
FCA was how I got my start.
Leading worship.
Leading worship, the first time I ever leading worship leader was a FCA.
Yeah. What you're gonna say? That was the first donut I ever had.
Well, it wasn't the first donut I ever had. I went to Sunday school for a long time.
It's interesting.
I knew where all the donuts were.
How many people at FCA has had an impact on, whether it's showing up in middle school or high school for a little bit or volunteering.
Well, I think that's, and then I go back to, sports, it just teaching so much.
Yeah.
I was telling them, reading last night, had a kid that was kind of having a hard time, and how he got good. Coaches just don't have any idea the impact of that. And that he may not listen to the coach, and he tried to talk to him, and it could be a guy, girl, whatever. When they go to coach him, they get such a huge impact to it. And I'm not going to say everybody, but have y'all seen any schools that push back? And I guess as long as FCA started within the students, they can't really refuse it, right?
Yeah, I mean, no. The answer is no. I think we're in a safe space, but there are other people around the state that SB12 came out a while ago and had to do. All clubs on campus had to be registered, and every kid in the club had to have a parent permission slip to be in there. So the idea of inviting your kid or inviting a friend to SCA. Permission slip from my parent, which, it helps in the cases where there's a parent who's on campus, and the parent doesn't know they're going to that. Yeah, I don't want to know that. Yeah. So I get that side of it, but also it just hinders the club organizations that are.
They're one of those double-edged swords, because there's good to it, and
Yes.
Well, there's a level of protection for one thing, because you have to, because if that one thing does arise, you want protection.
Yeah. And I didn't even get to mention this, but we had almost 730 nominated kids this year for the All-Star game. We only had 350 spots.
there's a lot of kids that.
Well, and so we do a deal called Big, NRECA has a deal called Youth Tour.
Okay.
And kids get to apply and get to go on an all expense paid trip to DC.
Oh,
Big Country Electric does it, Taylor Electric does it. Anyway, well, every year we only have so many spots.
sure.
And we have some juniors that apply, but then we have some really good seniors.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we want to encourage you to apply next year.
Yeah.
But each year it's like, did that junior not apply last year that was good because they knew they were a junior? And then as a senior, they apply, and it's tough. And I always joke, man, we need a few kids not to be good interviews so it makes it easy.
Yeah.
But when you start seeing these good kids, you're like,
I do that been on
hi, Becky's
scholarship-
parents.
Been on a scholarship committee for the past several years, and we interview kids every year, and it's just
Yeah.
like, we've got 10 to give out, we've got at least 15 that, how do you pair these 5 out? The bottom half or third, it's pretty easy to be like, all right, that's not the right candidate, but then the top half gets hard, and the top quarter is like really hard.
Yeah.
Did you see the headline of the college basketball players? It's pretty wild.
It breaks my heart, but I was talking to somebody this morning, like, they're just seeing money because they need it. Like, they're coming to ACU, and we don't have $100,000 to give out.
$10 to $30,000 per game is what the article says they can pay. You go to college.
Hey, I'm just going to send this into the weekend. Welcome back to the Hodgepodge. Hey, we're glad that you've joined us today. Appreciate everybody on Facebook Live watching us and for the happy birthdays. Hey, shout out to Greg. His out at the stock show, all those sports life and everything in between. One of those things in between is the folks that get involved in stock shows. We appreciate all them. Good luck to the twins as they show some pigs and everything in between. Josh, did you show?
No. I avoided that. I did help with. I was in ag class, so I helped with stock show prep.
Yeah.
But never did. I never had the desire to.
Well, and it's kind of one of those. You kind of look back and you realize, and of course we were talking about how sports impact kids. What these ag kids do, whether they're showing animals or doing welding projects and all that.
The level of dedication it takes more dedication than playing football.
Oh, and yeah, and so hope everybody, I think JB Cloud's got a kiddo showing and well. We've got a lot of great folks 2 days.
3 days.
3 days, that's right, because you got Monday, the national championship game. We all have Indiana winning that. And then, of course, you've got the big divisional round tomorrow, Bills, Broncos. A lot of everybody is cheering for the Bills, but leaning toward the Broncos. I'm going for the 49ers, which may be awkward, but it would be cool to see a 49ers-Bills Super Bowl of back in the 90s. I'm sure that would not be good for the Bills in that regard. And then the Rams and the Bears. Of course, I had the Rams in the Super Bowl this year, and it's going to be cold. They've said 40-mile-an-hour gust winds, could be 2 or 3 degrees. That's cold. And there will be some people that have no sleeves, and so salute to them. I don't even know how that works. I mean,
There's a certain level that, like, I understand you're out there running around, you're playing,
and you get warm,
hot,
yeah.
but there's a certain level of cold that,
And my other thing is I don't like getting slapped. I mean, nobody like if you remember like rock paper scissors, you slapped you slapped on your wrist or your arm or whatever, and I'm just not a fan of that. Period. I can't imagine being cold and doing that. I mean, you remember playing baseball, and again, shout out to those that'll start baseball on Monday.
Yeah.
It'll probably start to get cold.
I remember some baseball games that if you put the bat on the ball, it was painful.
It was stinging. And so it's going to be cold, a lot of football, a lot of action. And again, find a place. And of course, a couple of shout outs, Potosi Live, they got their dueling pianos, Valentine's event, Pegasus in the Rooftop. Lots of folks. Check them out. Go get your tickets. Again, enjoy the weekend. Again, thank you for the birthday wishes. JB Cloud coming at, JB Cloud, Greg, all the things, more Hodgepack, Sports Life, and everything in between.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you later. We're gonna beat up.